All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Toby, and I'll be in charge of taking your remarks today. All right, so today we'll be delving into commercial arithmetic, simple interest aspects. All right. So now, whenever a person borrow money from, let's say you borrow money from a lender now, you will be required to pay back the money you borrow at a specified date. Can you all hear me? Hello,
Yes,
can you
we
hear me?
can.
All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
All right. I said whenever a person borrows money from a lender, you'll be required to pay back the money at a specified date. Now, let's take for instance, you borrow 20,000 from a money lender. You'll be required to pay back in a specified date. Let's say you are required to pay back in 6 years' time. Now, you borrowing money from a lender, now you'll be required also to add, you'll be paying an additional money to the sum you borrowed. You'll be paying a percentage of the money to the sum you borrowed. Now, that percentage you'll be paying is called the interest rate. The extra money that is added to the amount you borrow is called the interest rate. Now, the amount you borrow itself is called the principal. So let's take, for instance, I borrow 20,000 and to pay back in 6 years, I borrow 20,000. Okay, let's assume I borrow 20,000. I have to pay back in 6 years. And when I'm paying back in 6 years, I'm adding an additional 6,000 to it. I borrow 20,000. I'm paying back in 6 years. And I'm adding additional 6,000 to the amount I'm paying. Now, the 20,000 I borrowed initially is going to be my principal. The amount I'm adding to it, which is 6,000, is going to be my interest. It's going to be the interest rate. Why the number of years that is going to take is going to be the time. The number of years I'm required to pay back is going to be the time. Now, there's something else. There's something called the amount. Now, what's the amount? Amount is the total money you're going to pay back to the lender. Amount is the total money you're going to pay back to the lender. Now, to calculate your amount, you just have to add your principal with your interest to get your amount. So your amount is your principal plus your interest. That's equals to, in this case now, our principal is 20,000 and our interest is 6,000. So our amount is equals to 26,000. All right, are you guys with me? Hello,
Yes,
can you?
sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's move on now. Now there are three types of interest. We have three types of interest. Can I wipe out the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now I said there are three types of interest. For the first one, we have the simple interest. Second one, we have the compound interest. And the third one, we have the continuous compound interest. Now the first one, I said we have the simple interest. The second one, the compound interest. And the third one, the continuous compound interest. Now, for the sake of the exam we'll be taking, we'll only be focusing on simple interest because no one is going to ask you a question on compound interest and continuous compound interest. Yeah, our focus is only on simple interest. Now, what is simple interest? Simple interest is interest that are calculated on only the initial amount you borrow. Simple interest are calculated on just the initial amount you borrow. Now, who can tell me what the initial amount you borrow is? I used the term earlier.
The principal.
Principal,
Principal.
exactly. Principal. So the simple interest are interest that are calculated on just the principal alone. All right. Now let's delve into questions. Can I raise the board? Hello, can I clean the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, for our first example, looking at a basic question. Now, in solving simple interest, you just need to focus on just two formulas. In solving questions on simple interest, just need two formulas. Knowing those two formulas, you could solve any question coming out on simple interest. Now, the first formula is the formula for the simple interest. Now, see, for simple interest, the initial is SI. SI is equals to P R T over 100. Now, where SI is our simple interest, and the P here is the principal. The R is the rate, and the T is the time. Now, so the formula for simple interest is PRT over 100. As for the second formula, when I was talking earlier, so I said for the amount, to get your amount, you have to add the principal. That's the amount you borrowed at the beginning, and the interest you are going to pay. So now for the amount, it is equals to, okay, sorry, the amount is equals to the principal plus simple interest. Are you with me? So the formula for amount is principal plus the simple interest. Why the formula for simple interest is PRT over 100. So in this case, we can still say the amount is equals to P plus our PRT over 100. All right. Now let's move on. Let's get into solving this question. Are you done writing the question and the formulas?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Now, while solving questions, there are sometimes that you might be given the amounts. While solving questions, there are sometimes that you might be given the amount. You might be given the principal, and you'll be asked to look for the simple interest. While solving questions, sometimes you might be given the amount, the principal, and you'll be asked to look for the simple interest. Now, what do you have to do? Just subject or formula. You say A is equals to P plus SI. Then since we are looking for SI, we have to make SI the subject of formula. So here we'll be having SI will be equals to A minus P. Same thing for principal. So if you are given the amount and you are given the simple interest and you are asked to look for principal, you just have to make principal the subject of formula. So we're having the principal will be equals to A minus the simple interest. Can I clean the board now? Hello?
No.
All right.
Please mute your mic back so that we can see the board.
How about now? Are you done writing the formulas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move into the solution. Now, interpreting these questions, they say this question, they say we should calculate the simple interest paid for a principal of 10,000 at the end of 3 years at 5% per annum. Now, the first thing you need to determine is what are we looking for? Now, you have to look for the simple interest. And we know our formula for simple interest to be, say, simple interest is equals to P times R times T over 100. Now, what's our P in the question? What's our principal in the question?
10,000.
10,000, all right.
10,000.
Our principal is 10,000. Our rate is giving us 5%. And our time is giving us 3 years. So what you have to do, you just have to substitute this into the equation. So now we'll be having xi will be equals to our p times r times our time, which is 3 years, all divided by 100. Now we have 0 here, we have 0 here. We can cancel 0, we cancel 0, 0, cancel 0. We are left with 100 times 5 times 3 is 15. So therefore, our simple interest will be equals to 1,500. Is it clear? Hello, is the solution clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not clear. Should I come again? Who said no? Should I come again? Let me just give it a call again. Now we said to calculate our simple interest. Now we said there's a formula. We have a formula. You have to know the formula already. Say the formula is equals to PLT over 100. Now I said the first thing to do is look at your question and check what you are given. Now in this question, they say we should calculate the simple interest. That's the first thing. What we are calculating is the simple interest. Let's just calculate the simple interest paid for a principal of 10,000. I think the amount you are investing or the amount you are borrowing is the principal. Okay, let's make that clear. The amount you are investing or the amount you are borrowing. This can come in two scenarios. It can be like you borrowing money. Let's say you borrow 10,000 and you are paying back in, let's say, 3 years. You'll be required to add extra money to it. You can be given in a rate like, okay, this is the rate you are going to use. This is the rate of interest you are going to pay on it. Let's assume 6%. So you can say you are borrowing 10,000, you are paying back in 3 years, and the interest is 6%. Now, the other ways can come in a way that, okay, let's say I'm investing now, I'm investing in a bank, I'm investing 20,000. And in 3 years' time, I'll be receiving 7% of it. So it can come in two ways. It can come in either you borrowing money and you'll be paying back a particular rate, or you investing money and you'll be paid a particular rate. Now, in this question, it says calculate the simple interest paid for a principal of 10,000. Now, you are the one paying, you are paying for a principal of 10,000. I said principal is the amount you borrow. You just have to define the question. Here, we are looking for the SI. The SI is unknown. I will say the principal in the question is equal to 10,000. You say the rate. The rate is given at 5%. I will say the time. The time is the amount of time you used to pay back or the amount of time you used to receive it back. Now, the time given here is 3 years. 30 is 3 years. You just have to substitute this into your equation and get what you're looking for now. So therefore, we'll be having simple interest equals to our principal, which is 10,000, times our rate, which is 5%, times our time, which is 3 years, all divided by 100. We have double zero here, we have double zero here. We can cancel it out. So you'll be left with 100 times 5 times 3, which will be equals to 1,500. Right, is it clear now? Hello, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
clear, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Can I clean the board now? Now you are given another question. Example 2. So let's look at this question together. I said the first thing to do is to interpret the question. We just have to solve formulas. We have the formula for simple interest and we have the formula for the amount, for the total amount. Let's just say I'm writing just my simple interest formula. If you need for the other one, I write it. So it's PLT 100. Now then interpret the question. Now you say at what rate of interest? So automatically we already know what we are looking for is our R. Said at what rate of interest? That means R was not given. At what rate of interest? So our R is unknown. Will the principal of 10,000, our principal is given. Our principal is equal to 10,000. Yield simple interest of 1.5. Our simple interest is also given. So our simple interest is equals to 1.5. In 3 years, our time is given too. Our time is equals to 3 years. The first thing is to interpret the question. Interpreting the question now, you say, at what rate of interest? So at what rate? They're asking us what rate of interest. So we know our R is not given. Or even if you could not interpret this, please look at this part. They say with the principal of 10,000, you are giving the principal. Yield simple interest of 1.5. You are giving the simple interest in 3 years. You are giving the time, but yet you are not giving the rate. So you already know it's the rate you have to calculate here. Now we bring our formula. Now we say our formula is SI is equals to PRT over 100. And we were given SI. Our SI is 1.5. So our 1.5 will be equals to our principal is 10,000 times our rate. We are not giving rates times the rate times our time. Our time is 3 years. All divided by 100. Now what can we do here? We can multiply everything up here. Multiplying everything up, we'll be having our 1.5 will be equals to 1,000. So can you all still see? Can you all still see the board?
No, sir. It's not clear at all.
Like just a minute. Hello, is it clear now? Can you hear me? Is the voice clear?
Yes, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir, it's
Yes,
not too clear.
but is it manageable?
Yes, sir.
I think the network is generally bad, so let's just go on. Right now, you say we have to multiply it now. Multiplying everything up, we'll be having 3 times 10,000 times out. We'll be having 30,000 R divided by 100. Now, what's the next thing to do? Whenever you have a fraction at one side of the equation and it's equated to a fraction at the other side, this is also a fraction because it's divided by 1. Next thing to do is to cross multiply. Whenever you have a fraction at one side and a fraction at another side, you have to cross multiply. Now, cross multiply, 100 will be multiplying this and 1 will multiply this. So here we'll be having 1500. Okay, I've multiplied it already times will be equals to 30,000 R. Now we're making R the subject of formula. So we have to divide both sides by the coefficient of R, which is divided by 30,000 divided by 30,000. So this we cancel this. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, we cancel 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll be left with our R will be equals to 15. Then 15,000 divided by 30,000. So we divide by 15 divided by 30. Sorry, 15,000. Sorry. Then this will be equals to 1 over 2. Are you with me?
Sir, I thought
Hello.
it's 10 over 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be 150,000. 1 5 times 100 is 150,000, right? Hello.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
I think it's 15/3.
I can't hear you. What do you say?
I think it's
When
150
you
over 3.
15/3, then the answer should be 5.
Multiply by 100. 50,000. Let's say this is equal to 30,000 R. Divide both sides by the coefficient of R. This, we cancel this. And 1, 2, 3. All right, so we'll be left with 15/3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So our rate is going to be as 5%. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
So now what does this question imply? It simply implies that there are sometimes you might not be asked to look for the simple interest. You could be asked to look for the rates. You could be asked to look for the time. You could be asked to look for the principal. But also you'll be given other information you're going to need to use to look for it. All right. All right, now let's take some questions from the past question. All right, so let's look at the question from the past question. Now, looking at question 32, page 8, question 32 from the Unilag past question. Page 8, question 32. Now, question 32 says, suppose 600 is invested at 10% simple interest per annum. Suppose 600 is invested. Now, who can tell me what the 600 is?
Principal.
Principal.
The amount invested is the principal. Now, you say suppose 600 is invested. So, he has the principal as 600. Okay, we are interpreting the question. Let's go on. Is invested at 10% simple interest rate per annum. Now, they don't say it's 10%. They don't say that's the simple interest. They say that's the rate of the simple interest. Please don't mix it up. The simple interest is different from the rate of the simple interest. Then it is invested at 10% simple interest per annum. Whereas our rate is equals to 10%. Moving forward, they say, what is the accrued amount after 8 years? We are giving our time. Our time is equals to 8 years. And so what is the accrued amount? Now, note, look at this question. Now, we are not asked to look for the simple interest. We were asked to look for the amounts. Earlier, what was the formula of amount I give? I said our amount is equals to the principal plus the simple interest. Now, so you need to know that you cannot look for amount without looking for your simple interest. So before looking for amount, you have to find your simple interest first, then you add it to your principal. Now, looking for our simple interest, now we have all the information needed to look for it. The simple interest is equals to PRT over 100. What's the principal? The principal is 600. The rate is 10. And the time is 8. All divided by 100. You have 0, 0, 0, 0. 60 times 8. What's 60 times 8? So that should be about 4,800. 4,000. 480. Told me 480. All right, so let's move on now. So is it 480 or 4,800?
4,800.
I see the same thing as 480.
It's 480.
Yes,
Until you people push,
480.
you push me and throw me off the bridge.
Ah,
I said simple
480.
interest is all right.
It's
Now we have got
480 times 10.
all right.
Yes, I know.
Now we have to add our simple interest with our principal. Our simple interest, we have it to be 480, and our principal, we have it to be 600. So the amount, which is A, is equals to the principal plus the simple interest. Now this will be equals to the principal is 600 plus the simple interest, which is 480. Now this will be equals to 1018 naira. So that means the total amount you are going to pay back is 1018 naira. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear. Clear, sir.
So
Yes,
the
sir.
option A
Clear,
say
very clear.
1018. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's go through one more question. All right, let's go to page 27, question 3. Page 27, question 3. Page 27, question 3. Now, as for this part, they said an investor who invested 6,500. They said the investor invested 6,500. We said the amount invested is the principal. So the principal here will be equals to principal will be equals to 6,400. Sorry, 6,500. Principal is now at some simple interest rates collected and it will amount to 7,800. I hope you are seeing the question. It said an investor invested 6,500 at some simple interest rates collected at I think there's a grammatical error there. Okay, and it will amount to 7,800. Now looking at this question, they gave us the amount. They did not give us the simple interest. They said the amount is 7,800. Now our amount will be equal to our 7,800 after 4 years. The time is equals to 4 years. I said, how many simple interest would have been collected after 2 years if you had invested this and this and this and this? Okay, now the question is divided into two pieces. Now let's look at the first piece. This is it. We are giving our principal, we are giving our amount, and we are giving the time. What's the first thing to do? When you see a question like this, the first thing to do is to look for the simple interest. Now, how do you look for the simple interest here? The rate was not given. Coming back to our formula of amount, you see our amount is equals to the principal plus the simple interest. Taking subject of formula, we'll be having our simple interest here as the amount minus the principal. Simple interest here will be equals to, what's the amount? The amount is 7,800 minus what's the principal? The principal is 6,500. So therefore, our xi will be equals to this minus this will be 1,300. Now we have gotten the simple interest, right? Hello, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are with you.
I say, how much simple interest would he have collected after 2 years if he had invested 9,000? Looking at the second phase, now he said, how much simple interest would he have collected after 2 years? Say the time here is equals to 2 years. He said if he had invested 9,000, so the principal is 9,000. And we have to look for the simple interest. total simple interest. Okay, coming back here. Okay, all right. Now looking at this question, we are not done with this part. We got the simple interest here. But what do we need? Looking at this question, they gave us the time, they gave us the principal, but they gave us the simple interest. They said we should look for the simple interest, but we are not also giving the rates too. Now the reason we are giving this first information is used to determine our rates. Looking at it, I've gotten our simple interest. So yeah, we have our simple interest, our principal, and our time. The only thing missing is the rate. So what do you have to do? You just have to implement your formula. You say simple interest is equals to the PRT over 100. Now what do you have to do here? Just impute your principal, your time, your simple interest, which is 1.3, and you use it to look for the rates. After getting the rates here, you just have to come and impute it here and use it to look for this question. So I'm giving it to you as your assignment now. It's very clear, right? Hello, it's clear, right? That will be the end of today's class. But just look at it well, you'll get it. All right. See you in the next class.